Hi, Katie. Thanks for inviting us. Hello, Kitty. Delighted to be able to discuss your book. One of the questions that I had was, how has it been received in the South, particularly in Mississippi, amongst both the black population and the white population? Has there been any feedback as to what the black community thinks about it, given that it's written by a white woman?
Let me just say, first of all, Mississippi is not, as much as we would like to think of it as one small town, it is a very diversely populated, large, state, and people have all kinds of opinions, black and white, and I have to say, I could never speak for the population as a whole. Individuals approach me and tell me how they feel about the book, and luckily, usually they don't approach me unless they liked the book. Fortunately, the ones that don't like the book keep it to themselves for the most part. But one of the most prominent African Americans that's reached out to me is Vernon Jordan, who I adore. He has that gorgeous, eloquent radio voice, and he called me one day and said, "Kitty," that's how he talks, "Kitty." He said, "I like The Help because I was the help." He was the chauffeur for the mayor of Atlanta when he was young, and I was so touched, first of all, that he would even take the time to reach out, but also that he felt like he, as an African-American man, identified with these women. And then also, another thing happened to me that really touched me was a very prominent African-American actress told the director of The Help, the film, the soon-to-be film, that she felt like the role of Aibileen whoever played that role had a huge responsibility, because they would be representing so many women in the United States. And it really struck me when I heard that, because that is not a responsibility that I was cognizant of as I was writing the book. I thought I was writing, a very personal story about a unique situation, and I didn't know that it would relate to so many different people across the United States and across the world. I'm humbled by the emails and the correspondence that I get, that people. The best compliment I think I've gotten from blacks and whites is that you made me feel, let me rephrase this, you showed me what it was like to be somebody else when I was inside those pages. And I think as a writer, that is the best compliment you can get. Not everybody in Jackson, Mississippi is thrilled.
Yeah, in fact, I was going to ask you about that, because I understand that even some of your family members are really peeved at you for writing this. Is that right? And some aren't even talking to you?
A few, but not a large number.
But close family members, right?
Close family members.
Gosh, that must be...
But the majority of them have been incredibly supportive. My mom, my dad, my stepmother, my brothers and sisters are honestly so relieved that it finally got published, because as you can imagine, with 50, 60 rejections under my belt, they had to listen to me feel sorry for myself that many times.